Hello! Today is April 9th, 2012, a Monday, and c'est lundi de Pâques. It's Easter Monday. Here in France, Monday is Easter, not Sunday. This is the most secular country in the world. Religion is not a big part of the picture here. I think over 70% of French people have no religious declared affiliation. And actually it's kind of interesting because you really don't want to wear like a piece of jewelry like a cross or anything to work. It could cause some problems, which is great, you know, separation of church and state. So here I have some Coppa Italien from Leader Price, and oh good, I found the receipt. This is a pork product. A lot of you with Italian backgrounds or whatever will know what Coppa is. Pancetta was another choice. I got this. This is some imported Italian cheese, Galbani brand. You know, I don't really trust this stuff, you know, fresh grated hard cheese. I find that this stuff has fillers in it. Yeah, this has got some egg product in it, salt, rennet, preservative. Yeah. I really prefer to get this kind of good quality Italian cheese from the Italian guy in the green market and grate it myself. But everything's closed today pretty much because it's Easter Monday here. So this is what I got. This is some, they call it organic mozzarella, you know. Who knows, you know. I don't really trust anything here. These are some anchovy fillets, which I have on a little old saucer because the bottom gets a little bit oily. I do have some pepper, some mild pepper and some zucchini, but I don't think I'm going to use them. Here's what I'm building up to. This is some cooked eggplant, tomato sauce, onion, and basil from yesterday with a few other little spices in it. Now here's my messy kitchen. I have to do the dishes. This is sort of a video request from somebody, I think it's a man in the United States, who asked me, I think he was looking at the Peter Molman channel, which I will cite here so you can see. It's a very nice channel, very fun. And he wanted to know what the pizza recipe, home pizza, was that I had cited. And I couldn't remember at that point, but I told him I thought I knew that it was probably in this old cookbook I have from the 80s, The Spice and Spirit of Kosher Jewish Cooking, which has a lot of good recipes in it, such as basic cakes, a lot of good stuff in here, really. And the pizza recipe in here I like a lot because I'm American born. I do like pizza. I live in France, and France is the #2 pizza eating country in the world, but the pizza here is generally dreadful. And since I lived in New York for so many years, and I've been to Italy so many times where they actually don't eat all that much pizza, and studied in Italy and stuff, I miss it. So I end up having to make it at home a lot. Now this recipe shows 3 cups of flour, a package of dry yeast. This is what the dry yeast that I get looks like in France. It doesn't last all that long, you know. There's always a chance that it'll be kind of dead by the time you get to it. 1 1/3 cups of warm water, a teaspoon of salt, 2 cans of seasoned tomato sauce, a ½ pound of Munster cheese grated. I remember Munster cheese in the United States was very mild stuff. Here in France, Munster cheese is pretty stinky. And a teaspoon of oregano. It says, dissolve the yeast in a ½ cup of water. Let it stand 10 minutes. Now, I find that the water has to be a little bit on the warm side, but not too warm. And I do something non-kosher, which is add a few drops of milk or milk powder. You know, they separate milk from meat very carefully in kosher cooking. And I don't keep kosher, so I don't worry about that. I also added this morning a little pinch of sugar into the yeast to give it something to eat. And you'll notice within a few minutes it'll start to foam up, which means that it's alive and that things are good. Sift the flour and add the yeast mixture, the salt, and the remaining water. Knead and let rise 1.5 hours. Roll out the dough and put into greased pans. Spread 1 cup of sauce on the dough. Sprinkle the cheese on the sauce, top with oregano. Bake 15 to 20 minutes at 450 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I'm here in Europe. I have Celsius. I don't know. I don't even know what my oven is, what type it is. I cook a lot, but I don't know a lot of stuff. I'm not that up on things. You know, I just figure things out in a klutzy way. Now, I am not adept at making yeast things. I have a very cold, drafty kitchen, and I was never formally trained in pastry or breads or stuff like that. So I tend to go for what's like really easy. Now, one thing that I have learned the hard way is that when I do this, I have to put it in a non-reactive bowl. This is a plain glass bowl. And never put a piece of metal, such as a knife or a spoon, into this mixture, because that'll just kill it. I'm using a wooden spoon here. And I guess this is why a lot of bakers and stuff use their hands, because it's not metal. Take your rings off if you're wearing a metal ring. And I did put a pinch of salt in here, like a couple of drops of oil. I don't have any oregano right now. I really prefer it to basil. I think basil is highly overrated. But since I don't have any, I added a little bit of basil, a pinch of garlic powder, nothing else. And it's already kind of gloopy. And I'm covering it with a clean tea towel. It's getting nice and stringy. Starting to get some life to it. There we go. Put this here, clean this mess up here shortly. Alright, cover this up. Now, all that's going to happen is I hope this will be ready for lunch, because I've got to raise this up, punch it down, raise it again. If it's not ready for lunch, I'll do something else for lunch. This is a Pyrex thing that I got for barter in New York years ago from a woman who couldn't pay her rent. So I gave her some money to pay her bills, and I got a bunch of her stuff. I'm going to put some oil on this. I think any fat would work. I'm going to use just some plain oil. I know there are a lot of people who fuss and say don't use canola, so I don't use canola. I think I'm going to use a little sunflower oil for this. And I'm going to just, with clean hands, probably with a little oil on them so it doesn't stick, press this dough down in here and put some of this vegetable mixture on it. Not very much. The less you use for this recipe, the better. It is the craziest thing. And put a little bit of mozzarella, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of copa, a few anchovies, maybe chopped. I think I'm probably going to save the pepper for another meal. It's crazy, but I find that the less ingredients I add to this recipe, the better it comes out. This is like a really plain, basic home pizza recipe that nearly always works. What I can't figure out is why it comes out so much better sometimes than other times. You know, this is one of the mysteries of life. I think that I may be paying more attention to getting the dough to rise, punch it down, let it rise again, and having the oven nice and hot. Now, as far as pizza making goes, you know, if you've got those nice pizza tiles and nice pizza materials, this is just about all I have left from the United States is a pizza wheel. You know, they don't even know what this is in France. It's pretty funny. At least not the people I know. I think that it comes out the crispiest and the best when I keep it really simple, make sure that the dough does rise twice, and the oven is nice and hot, and I don't put a lot of gloop on the top of it, just like really keep it plain. And as you can see from this recipe, this is really, really simple, Now, I got this book in the 80s. Boy, my boss, Barclay G. Jones III, got a free copy of it from some people he was trying to do some sort of Wall Street deal with, and it didn't work out. And everybody said to him, "Oh, Barclay, Lisa just is about to go into a Jewish marriage. You ought to give her the book." But he didn't. So I just said, well, screw him. I don't need Barclay G. Jones III to give me a book. So I bought it myself, and I've been really happy with it ever since. And this is by the Lubavitch Women's Organization, 770 Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn, New York, 11213, USA. Wow, their phone number is so old, it still has a 212 area code. I imagine perhaps it's now 1-718-604-2785. First printed in July 77. I got this in 1983. I like all types of cookbooks. I really find that I get something from almost all of them. This one has a lot of explanation in it about Jewish holidays and stuff. And, you can either look at that or not. How to do a nice Seder and stuff like that, and the calendar and everything. But it's got some really good basics in here, like how to make your own challah bread and stuff, and about all the different mitzvahs of cooking and stuff. And I really like it. And again, this book has got some really good cake recipes in it. A good basic chocolate cake. Chiffon cakes are nice because those are made with oil, and they're darned easy. They slide out of the pan okay. They keep for a few days. It's got stuff about pickling, how to make your own frostings, all kinds of stuff. This has just been a really, really good cookbook for me over the years. Oh, what is this about? Decanting and stuff, and how to make your own wine. It's a good book. It's a really good book. All right, so thanks for listening to me. I hope lunch turns out. I hope you have a good Easter. Up your keister for Easter. See you later, I hope. Bye.